Hello everybody, I'm Nate and welcome to the channel. Today we are talking about the newest thing coming out of zero gravity return tops. This is the polycarbonate version of the MiJo. I did do a review of the MiJo, all right? So if you've not taken a look at that and you want to know a little bit more about that, I encourage you to take a look at that on my channel. It's a pocket yo-yo. It's a slimline yo-yo. You know, one thing that zero gravity return tops I think is becoming sort of famous for is really kind of just making fun yo-yos, and I really appreciate that. They do have competitive yo-yos, they have some bimetals, they have some competition-friendly shapes and things like that, but they also have things like this one, which is really meant to just be fun and a nice pocket-friendly version. This one even fits in some of the pouches that I have, right? You know, if you're a pouch person and you collect rain dries, things like that, like maybe some of you do, which I know some of you do, and you're looking for a yo-yo to fit in maybe a larger pouch, maybe not kind of a small one, but a larger one, this might actually fit the bill. As with many yo-yos that have been coming out from zero gravity return tops, some of their novelty ones, some of their more like kind of fun factor ones, right? They give you options. This can be played as a responsive yo-yo, an unresponsive yo-yo, and a fixed axle yo-yo. So this takes their D-bearing. I've talked about their D-bearing blanks on this channel, and this will take that as well. So really cool option for a fixed axle yo-yo if that's what you're looking for. I actually been really liking it as an unresponsive yo-yo. That's how I'm gonna talk about it as well. There are tons of different colorways on this yo-yo. This particular colorway, this sort of like smoke, and one other are the ZipLine edition. So when I picked it out, whenever Jorge asked me, hey, you know, which colorway would you like? I was like, well, that one. And I didn't even actually realize I had picked out one from my sponsor. So I'm very happy to have one that reps also ZipLine Strings. Let's take a little closer look here and I'll kind of break down some of the details. It does have engravings on it, very similar to how the MiJo had originally, same spot, but it also says polycarbonate. It has the zero gravity return tops. On this version, it says ZipLine String Edition. It does angle up ever so slightly. It's really pretty much the exact same shape as the original MiJo, the metal version of it, finger spin ready. These are also gonna be really great for pull starts and things like that, right? That's gonna be a really nice added fun factor to this yo-yo. And I think something that you're going to be sort of addicted to doing with this yo-yo, as I am. Let's go ahead and take it apart here. Now, with the D-bearing unresponsive version, it's a wider standard kind of D-bearing. It is not concave, so it's flat, which is actually kind of nice, honestly, to have that. I have some D-bearing concave bearings if I really wanted to swap it out, but I like the flat one for this purpose. It does have a, I believe it's 10mm axle. You'll have to swap that out for an 8mm axle whenever you're going for the slimmer bearing, which it comes with as well. I talked about with the gap here, it does angle up ever so slightly so that we have less string drag. So it is a high walled yo-yo, but it does pull away from there as well. These are wider pads, which are you typically see on a D-bearing yo-yo. All right, let's go ahead and string this up and we will throw it. All right, welcome back here. Before I string it up officially, I did mention that it came with a bearing removal tool, the just standard D-bearing, which is nice because maybe you don't have a D-bearing yo-yo, and it can be a challenge with the half spec or even the fixed axle blank to kind of get that out without a bearing removal tool. So I highly recommend using that because it comes with it, but it's nice that it comes with it. I would also recommend the throw key. I mentioned this on a review a while back. This is the ZipLine and zero gravity return top sort of collaboration, I guess. It has everything. It has a C bearing, it has an A bearing, it has a D bearing removal all in one. It has a pick, it has a Allen wrench or what have you. It's to get your axle out. Anyways, whatever it's called. I've also little hack here. There's enough space here to actually have both the half-spec D-bearing and the D-bearing blank, fixie blank in here and kind of keep it in there. It's all in one place now. The only thing that I would need to carry separately if I wanted to swap them out is that 8mm axle, so I would have to find a place for that. And I still haven't figured out a good place for that, but that's all in like one thing. But that's the only thing. So if I'm putting it in a pouch, that's kind of nice to have that right there. All right, enough of that. We'll go ahead and string it up here. This is the unresponsive version of it, and I've actually really been liking it. And before I throw it here, I will mention that it was surprisingly stable for what it was. I was expecting it to not really be stable at all because it is just, it's, you know, it's slimline. It's basically flat. You're working with just like 2 flat discs here, and I was pleasantly surprised. Now, of course, the gap is going to be a challenge, right, to hit. Oh my goodness. Yep, see? If you're wanting to maybe kind of like, I don't know, have a yo-yo that's really going to give you a challenge and work on your, you know, your execution and you work on your accuracy, you might like this yo-yo for just that. And I don't really think that's what this yo-yo is marketed towards, as a sort of like a trainer. It is just a fun yo-yo and very pocket friendly. Again, I do believe this is a great EDC yo-yo. It's not going to perform, you know, the longest tricks possible. It's going to do the job, definitely. And it's actually going to do really, really well for that. But it's not going to be your bimetal yo-yo that's like, you know, super wide and large in the hand and anything like that. But you also couldn't carry that around in your pocket comfortably like you do with this. I mentioned the dimples there and how you can pull start with that, right? So if you wanted to pull start with that, if you wanted to do a finger spin as well, you could start with that and you could pull out like that and just start up with a finger spin. Now, popping it up to do a finger spin like I just did is really no effort at all. It caves in there a little bit, so it kind of like allows your finger to find that pocket pretty easily. Probably the second best setup for me would be the fixed axle option. So we're actually going to go ahead and do that now. All right. I have in here the fixed axle blank. It is a concave blank. We've seen this before. If you've been paying attention to any of the reviews that I've done before, this is, I believe, the 3rd yo-yo that I've reviewed that has this blank. I have a number of them now. I've actually thrown one in the Respawn, and it's really fun with that. Now, I am playing with a little longer string than I would normally. This is a full-length Prestige string right now. The string works fine, I think, for the fixed axle option here, but I would shorten it typically. But it actually works really well for stalls, things like that. It's consistent. The response is consistent. For tricks like Shoot the Moon, it's super consistent. That's one of the ways I tell, personally, if a yo-yo, a responsive yo-yo, or rather a fixed axle yo-yo in this case, has that response that is right where I need it. The pull starts on this are going to be a little bit more fun, in my opinion, because it's responsive. In this case, again, it's fixed. So you can actually do sort of like a return. It's a lot like a tape measurer, right? That trick tape measure, right? And you can do some really fun experimental tricks. It's just fun. And I think it's going to be super addicting for those who pick this yo-yo up. So I think that's going to be it for the MiJo Polycarbonate. So fun. It's a really fun yo-yo. If you are looking for a quality, like everyday carry, pocket friendly, slimline, or just really fun yo-yo, I think this is going to be it. And if you've not checked out other stuff from Zero Gravity Return Tops, I think now's the time. They've been kind of doing some really cool things, really unique things, and this is just one of them. That's going to do it for now, and until the next one, later.